Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video guys, I'll be showing you unreliable remote events. Unreliable remote events are a newer feature that Roblox has released, and I think you guys should know about this because this is can be useful if you use it right and if you are in a scenario where you need to use it other than regular remote events. Unreliable remote events is basically the exact same as regular remote events. But actually what I mean by that is the syntax, right? The same way on a remote event you say fire server and fire client, that is the same for both unreliable and regular remote events. So yeah, well, you may be already reading my notes up here, but my number one is that remote events, usually, they are very reliable. When you call a remote event to go from server to client or client to server, they will always run because it's reliable. It will always go to the client or vice versa. Reliable, secure, but they are slow. What I mean by they are costly is that means that they take up a lot of bandwidth from get to server to client and back and forth. So that's why we have unreliable remote events. They are fast but not secure, and they are unreliable, but they are not costly to get around the bandwidth. So what we're dealing with here is remote events, reliable, secure, but slow, and have a price tag on them. Unreliable remote events, fast, not secure, unreliable, but they are not costly. They don't have a expensive price tag on them when it comes to performance and memory usage. Use cases when you'd use I cannot say this word. Unreliable remote events is a gun shooting, because when you are shooting a gun and going from client to server, that's constantly happening every time you shoot a bullet. You are firing a remote event, so you would want to use unreliable remote events, because if you keep clicking, then that's firing it lots of times. So I have an example for you guys. Alright guys, so I had this gun that I made before making this video, and it works. See? It's actually really satisfying to shoot the gun. It's really clean, it actually works on actual people, so you can actually kill a rig, as you can see. And it's an actual gun, and it looks nice. Thing is with this gun is it is constantly firing regular remote events when I click. And that's bad. Every time. Now, let's say, hold on. Let's say I have an auto clicker, right, set to 0 milliseconds. Then you can just imagine, that this is pain looking at this. I mean, it looks really cool the way I'm shooting the bullets, but oh my goodness, hundreds of times the remote event is being called. So we're gonna change this to unreliable remote events. And to just show how easy of a conversion this is, I have my two remote events. All I have to do is put in an unreliable remote event, duplicate it, and just name it the same things I have here. So shoot and fire bullet. I did not spell that right. Okay, so there we go. Get rid of the regular remote events. And as you can see here, we have unreliable remote events. They have the question mark there. So let's try this out now. So we are firing it much faster. It's not secure, by the way. So every time we click, it's not guaranteed it's gonna work. Here's the auto clicker again. But this is much better than using regular remote events. There's some stuff there I was printing in the output just for testing. But yeah, this is one of the many cases where you would be using unreliable remote events. Again, all you have to do is just replace it with unreliables, and there's like nothing different. Everything about it is the same except for the actual object itself, so it's really nice. Alright, so I'm going to read this off of the dev forum when they were announcing this feature. But it says unreliable remote events are more useful for network performance in instances where you don't care if the received event actually succeeded. So right, if we're shooting lots of bullets at once, we don't really care if maybe one or two doesn't like fire. Because we're firing lots of bullets at once. And if I go to maybe the same or different dev form post, I'm gonna bring this up. That would be compared to regular remote events. So I'm gonna use this example where imagine this is a remote event, okay? This is a remote event, regular one. And then we have another one that's going to be green and another one that's blue. When firing these will run in the same order that I call them. So when I call this red one first, then the red one will go first, and then green, then blue. It's just how it works for regular remote events. But unreliable remote events, if these are unreliable, so get rid of the regulars. Imagine these are unreliable now. So what that means is the green one could go first and the blue one could be in the middle, right? It could go in this order because it's unreliable. There's no guarantee. And it could be processed in a different order than what it was sent. Again, I'm going to read this off the dev forum, but this says that unreliable remote events may be dropped to prioritize bandwidth or CPU usage in addition to any loss that occurs over the network. If you want to read more on this, then search up introducing unreliable remote events in your search bar and just put in dev forum, and you'll see it. The Roblox staff announced this. There are actually some known issues with this about the payload should be at most 900 bytes, and if you go over that, there will be an output log, and I think it'll be dropped. But there's some downsides to using it, but you're just gonna have to read up on that, and this is what a lot of this I'm getting from the actual dev forum. And yeah, guys, if you did learn something from this video or you just enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe button. And I will see all of you in the next video. Peace.